It's alive!
Get that stuff out of here! It's Southwest Bias!
Welcome into another edition of Southwest Bias Live, brought to you by our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. If you've had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. And we are live from Studio K. Got the point right. Brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today by downloading the Circle K app for free, and you're saving 40 cents off per gallon today thanks to their fuel day. Sometimes in life you are completely underestimated. I have been for most of my life. A lot of us around here have been in our venture here at PHNX. It happens. Sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for reasons that don't make any sense. The Phoenix Suns have been in that case for a while. They entered a stretch here back on November 18th where everybody said, oh my gosh, it's all coming to an end now. They've played a weak schedule. Now they've got to play a gauntlet and they're not going to make it through. We're going to know that they're the bad team everybody thought they were, or thoughted. You can say that too. English is a tough language. They've come through 12 of those 15 games, 6-6. They started 8-6. They're 14-12. They've beat Minnesota in that time, Portland, Sacramento, the Lakers, Minnesota again. Their losses have come against 3 of the juggernauts in the West, in the Rockets, the Nuggets, and the Oklahoma City Thunder, teams that you didn't think that they would beat. They beat the Spurs as well. They again have surprised. They were supposed to be DOA right now. Dead on arrival. They were not supposed to be anything near 500 at this point. They were supposed to be significantly sub 500. And instead, they have managed to keep their head above water. Despite injuries, Devin Booker out, Grayson Allen out, still haven't had Jalen Green. I believe Dylan Brooks missed a game and has been dealing with a sore Achilles. They've done all of it despite injuries and everything that could have been thrown in their way. Back when this started, I said, you come out at 500 or game or two below it and 500 overall, you've done great. Because guess what? Starting at the end of this month and when you turn the page into January, things start to look easier. You've played a West heavy schedule already. Your schedule is front loaded with some of the toughest teams in the NBA. And you come out of it right now, you're sitting 7th in the West. You're not far behind Minnesota, who you technically right now own the tiebreaker against because you're 2-0. You get a feast on the East, hopefully, in January. This is the best case scenario that any of us could have hoped for, especially coming out of this stretch, despite everybody telling you, again, the Phoenix Suns are going to be bad. It's all over. It's all downhill from here. Oh, Devin Booker's out multiple games. You're screwed. Oh, this team, they're just not going to do it. They have, and we still haven't even seen them at full strength. Jalen Green is close to coming back. It's been 5 weeks. They said, it's that 5-6 week mark that they were going to look at. We've heard rumors that near Christmas, well, guess what? There's a game the 23rd. There's a game the 26th. Those are both near Christmas. They're both next week. Maybe Jalen Green's back next week. Maybe it's the week after. But that wait is almost over to see this team at full strength. I mean, offense has been middle of the pack despite what's going on. could wind up being in the upper third of the league once Jalen Green's is a part of it. We knew he was supposed to be half of this team's offense, and he's right around the corner. You got back-to-back games against Golden State, tonight and Saturday. Mini playoff series. This is a team that's right behind you. 13-14, a team that struggled. Go in there. Win at home tonight. Go into Golden State on Saturday. Deliver a knockout blow with them. They're teetering on the edge of disaster there. You've got Draymond Green saying they effing suck openly out there. You've got the owner responding to fans via email saying things are a mess. You've got Steve Kerr trying to smooth it over. You've got Jonathan Kuminga, who's been banished to the bench. You've got Kerr also admitting that there's young guys on the roster that are better than the older guys, but the older guys get to play because they've earned it. It's a team in disarray, and you are a team still on the come up. Win these two. Take care of business. Put yourself 2 games over 500 in what was supposed to be a death march. Put yourself with a chance to you go 3 games over 500 in that 15-game stretch as you take on the Lakers next week on the 23rd. Then you got 2 against the Pelicans. Then you got a January that is much, much easier. I'm loving how this is setting up. You can underestimate as much as you want, but the Phoenix Suns don't care, and they continue to not care. And we haven't even seen prime Devin Booker. Devin's still getting his 26, 27, 30 a game, but it's not prime Devin Booker. He's shooting like 25% from 3 since the middle of November. You know that's going to change. Grayson Allen, since he came back from the quad contusion that kept him out for a while, he hasn't been himself lately either in hitting threes. They're still okay. A lot of this defies logic, but at some point it goes beyond, well, it's just nice, right? To no, this is who they are. And this stretch, I think, is when they turn that corner to, no, this is just who they are. The Phoenix Suns are a pretty good basketball team. The Phoenix Suns are an entertaining basketball team. And the Phoenix Suns aren't just a team that are going to go into the corner, shrivel up, and not be part of the NBA Western Conference discussion for the playoffs this year. They're not who we thought they were. They're the reverse Denny Green. This team is somebody. I think they're probably a playoff team. And I think they'll probably make a trade to bolster the roster. But the biggest move that they're going to make is getting Jalen Green back in the next few weeks. I'm really excited about it. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We're going to welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, a lot of people thought the Suns were going to be dead. An eclipse. Oh, there we go. Oh, who? Okay, that's scary. That's what the people thought the Suns were going to be. They thought they were going to be eclipsed by this massive, difficult schedule, and they've survived. Mm-hmm. In some cases, they've thrived against the teams that they're fighting for playoff position against: the Spurs, the Timberwolves, even the Blazers. The Lakers went in there. What do you make of where they're sitting right?
I mean, they've lost 6 of their last 9 games, right? Like, that's not ideal, but they did themselves some favors at the start of the year. We know this team is a lot better than everyone thought it was going to be. You just got to wait until you get a real sample size of Jalen Green on this team. Like, how much of a difference maker is he going to be? Like, have we seen the Suns' ceiling already? It's a possibility. We don't know if Jalen Green is going to add that much. He should.
I mean, I would sure as hell hope so.
Yeah, so would I. But you do have some pause. They could change the whole offense. And I think the offense has worked so well because the ball's been shared a ton. Jalen Green isn't exactly a playmaker. But they got playmakers all around him. And getting him the ball in space and him creating his own shot, we saw what that could do in the very small sample size we had.
Yeah. I mean, you bring up the 6 of 9, though, and when you look at it, it's 2 against Houston, 2 against OKC, a loss to the Nuggets. Like, you're talking, you've lost to the top 3 teams in the West, and I've said it on the Sun show, and we've talked about it. I don't think they're in that upper echelon, so I'm not shocked that they haven't won those games in particular. But it's some of those other wins, the Minnesota wins, the Lakers win, the Spurs, a couple of wins that they've gotten this year that make me go, all right, that next tier, maybe the bottom of that next tier, yeah, they're right there.
For sure.
You're like, no, I'm not going to argue that.
No,
right.
yeah, they are. I just don't know where this team's ceiling is, and again, you'd hope Jalen Green adds a lot.
I think the ceiling is the 6th seed. Like, that's the ceiling. They're not going to be better than that, I think.
Can they win the division?
I mean, okay, so we're talking Golden State, the Kings.
I mean, you're just talking about beating the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could be right there. I think they probably finish right behind the Lakers.
It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that I would win $700.
No, I think there's a chance because, look, the Lakers still have LeBron as a major piece. We don't know that he can remain healthy the full season. I mean, that sciatica issue could come back up. Luka has had injury problems in the past. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they win the division, but I still think their ceiling is, a 10th, 12th offense in the league, a defense in the same range where they're respectable. And that's a hell of a lot better than where people thought they were going to be. That's for sure.
100%. Yeah. It's exciting that we're even in this position to talk about any type of ceiling.
I wish we could play a little Adele. I know we're not allowed to, but rumor has it. You see this rumor this morning that the Suns and Toronto Raptors have had some initial discussions about an Ochai Anunoby and a second-round pick for Nick Richards trade with Toronto. I actually really like this idea. Not only do you get a little extra draft capital, which is never a bad thing, but Anunoby, I always mispronounce that, is a guy that 3-and-D guy, young, has shown potential when he's gotten minutes in Toronto. Mm-hmm. I really like it. Plus, then maybe it makes a Royce expendable because he plays a very similar role. So then you can go, fill a backup center need or a power forward need.
I think the only reason why I like this is because it gives you some hope that we could see come on.
Yeah. I think it also gives me a chance to not constantly butcher that name. A big shout out to the bias.
I don't think you were close.
No, I probably not. Steven gets it right every time, and it makes me so jealous on the program. Big shout out to all the bias in the chat. Hit that like button. Become a supporter club member like Max. And also, give a compliment to my hair. Max says, Espo's hair is looking great. Yeah, this is because you guys never see it. I'm usually wearing a hat, but I dressed a little nicer. I'm going to see my daughter and my wife in their musical again tonight, so I thought I'd dress like an adult male for once in a while. Advent calendar, Shane. Let's bust into that thing. What do you got?
All right, we're going back to back since the joke yesterday was such a big hit.
It hit hard. What do we got?
So there was this moth, right, Espo?
Okay, a moth.
And he's dealing with some moth family issues.
Okay.
Where his moth wife is really moth mad at him.
Okay.
And she decides to ultimately break it off. So this moth is now lonely, gets a single family apartment. She has the moth kids. The moth wife has the moth kids.
I would hope so.
So the moth is unhappy.
Okay.
Really sad, dealing with some stuff, and he goes to a bar and he's just trying to talk to somebody about it, but he doesn't really fully commit to telling people his moth feelings. And so this moth is at the bar. It's not a moth bar; it's just a bar. And this guy, just a guy, not a moth guy, it's just a guy, tells the moth that he should probably go see somebody. And he says, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, you should go talk to somebody professionally instead of just drowning your sorrows in this bar that I see you at all the time." So the moth says, "Okay." So the moth finds this therapist, and they have a really good conversation. And he comes out on the side of it, and he's just feeling really positive about the whole situation, feeling really moth positive. It's not a moth therapist; it's just a therapist. And so he goes home and then he has the first session and he feels better, so he decides to go back. And after the second session, the therapist goes, "So before we close out, I know things have been going really well for you. I know you've had a pretty hard moth time, but how did you find us?" And he goes, "Oh, the light was on."
That thing went so long and had so many emotions, I about mothballed. Anyways, yeah, that's our advent calendar. I want to give away something before we get to our guest after the break. So Shane, we've got our 5 days of giveaways. We're giving something away to diehards from our diehard Discord. And today we're giving away, I believe it is 3 Scratchers tickets from our friends at the Arizona Lottery. Love the play. Shane, do we have the wheel? Let's spin the wheel of prizes and see who wins today. Premature jocularity. The winner is
CD Marks.
CD Marks. Congratulations, CD Marks. You have won 3 Scratchers tickets from the Arizona Lottery. Our friend Leah will be reaching out to you in Discord, and she won't be talking to you about heated rivalry. She'll just be sending you, getting your information to send you your tickets. On the other side of the break, there's more shenanigans, a game, and a discussion with our favorite, Mark McClune from Arizona Family Sports. Having a serious injury after an accident is not something to take lightly, and neither is picking the lawyer that's going to help you out with your case. That's why the husband and wife law team, Mark and Alexis Breyer, are exactly who you need. Now, I went through this a handful of years ago. I took the advice of somebody I knew, and they gave me a lawyer, and I just went with it. I didn't do any research, and I paid the price in the end, not just in terms of the money that I got out of it to pay for everything, but also in frustration. And you don't want to deal with that. Mark and Alexis Breyer are committed to doing what's best for you, including making sure that you make more than they make on it. And they want to take care of it. If you have to go to trial, they are trained as trial lawyers, and they're going to make sure that everything gets taken care of for you as best that they can. So if you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show note and tell them PHNX sent you. Circle K, went there this morning, got some Coke Zero. You know I love it. And right now, today, if you're a member of the Inner Circle, it's a fuel day, which means you're going to love it because you're going to save 40 cents off per gallon just simply by signing up. I know, it sounds too good to be true, and a lot of things in this world are, but the Inner Circle is not, because it's that simple. You sign up, you get 40 cents off of gas today. And then after that, the first 5 fill-ups that you have, you're going to get 25 cents off per gallon, then 3 cents off after that. Then you're going to get the mustache behind the Mac. I was going to say on the Mac level, and you're going to save 5 cents off per gallon. So why wouldn't you become an Inner Circle member today? It's super easy, and you get great deals on Polar Pops, Frosters, and food as well. So join the Inner Circle today for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply like everything in life. At participating locations, visit CircleK.com for details. Oh, 40 cents off per gas. Who doesn't want that? There is one man that's excluded, though. He's our next guest. That's Mark McClune from Arizona Family Sports. Mark, please don't ask me about my groin this week.
Okay, I won't, but your hair looks nice.
Thank you. I told the people I dressed like an adult today.
Okay, you look ready, TV ready.
Oh, if I ever got the invite, sure. I'm not an insider, though, so yeah, I don't get the invite.
All right, you're gonna we'll get you a key card. You can just pop in whenever you want. We can go through our library, look at the old reels, look at Suns basketball, 1997. Maybe find some gold there.
We've been doing that here in the office, watching old games on YouTube, and let me just say, basketball was not very good.
Okay, so does this? The whole LeBron Jordan argument, I am squarely Jordan. I think he rose to greatness every time we wanted to see him be great. I don't count the Wizards thing because I think that was just him being bored. Where do you stand on the LeBron and Jordan argument. Who's the
It's
GOAT?
Barkley because we're in Phoenix. No, it's Jordan. Jordan changed
Thank
the
you.
game and changed everything about it and the perception of it. The NBA isn't what it is today, isn't the international brand, isn't the phenomena that it is here in America without Michael Jordan. LeBron James
Preach.
has been kind of the Walmart version of that for a different generation. And he's been good. He's probably number 2. You might be able to debate that, but he's not LeBron, or he's not Jordan. LeBron isn't Jordan. And, some could make the argument Kobe was closer to Jordan than LeBron is. I'm not one that will openly make that argument, but some would make that, and I could understand it.
I could buy that for $1. I want to put Magic and Bird and Bill Russell in this conversation as well. But honestly, like I think LeBron might be the most talented. I think he might be the most interesting. I just think that we never saw Jordan not be great in a great moment when it mattered most. And we've seen LeBron be great, and we've seen LeBron get tripped up and come back, and there's greatness in that. And I don't like disrespect anybody's ideas that LeBron's the greatest, but most of the people who say that, I find, did not watch Jordan in the moment and can't appreciate the greatness that we saw, because it was just I'm still in awe of watching Michael Jordan play basketball.
I mean, but that's the world. Recency bias dominates everything. And I also think it's so difficult to actually compare eras as well and try to get a true understanding of who was better than who. Let's ask this, though, Mark. Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Tempe, Arizona, who's better for Kenny Dillingham?
I think Kenny Dillingham is trying to make Tempe, Arizona the best possible spot for Kenny Dillingham. I think when he says he lives next door to his sister and down the street from his parents, I assume that he's not going to leave unless he wants to get away from his sister and his parents. But I don't think he'd bring that up unless it wasn't a major factor that this is family and this is the only job that he's ever wanted. But when you look at the finances and you look at the game they're playing, I think long term, Kenny Dillingham's asking himself, can I be successful here long term? Can I compete for a national championship? Can I get the players here that I need to compete? And this is his leverage to do that. And it's also, if I was him, I would have a real candid conversation with the University of Michigan, and I would get to know all their numbers, and I would take them back to Dr. Crow, and I would say, this is the game we are playing. Are you all in?
Yep, I wholeheartedly agree. By the way, if you hear me say that I live next door to my sister, something has gone horribly wrong, and I am likely going to be doing the Midwest Bias show on MCGN not too shortly after that. I'll tell you that.
So you would be moving to Ann Arbor, basically,
in a heartbeat,
yes.
If you're telling me I'm living next to my sister. Love my sister. I don't think I want her as my neighbor. My parents do live down the street, though. I will say that.
Does she want you as a neighbor, though? That's the question. That's
probably not.
Question.
Like we love each other, but I think living that close to each other, not a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll just
Neutral
say that.
quarters.
Sometimes I think my wife thinks living in the same house with me is not always the right idea either, but that's neither here nor there in the discussion. I look at it, I think, Kenny, this is all a leverage play. Honestly, Mark, especially when he's bringing up his assistants, it really feels like it has to do with his with taking care of his assistants and making sure that they want to play, like you said, on the same playing field as these Big 12 and SEC schools, or excuse me, Big 10 and SEC schools, if they truly want to dominate the Big 12. And that's the question that I think it comes down to, as you mentioned, Michael Crow. Are you more than just the academics, or and do you care about the athletic side of it, or is it an athletic or a academic institution where athletics is third, tertiary for you as well?
Yeah, and I think I would go in and say, hey, do you see value in having a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback at this university? Because if you do, a guy that could win that trophy next year just walked out the door, and we could keep him. And again, I'm not reporting that Sam Levitt has officially walked out the door. I believe he's going to. I just believe that the finances, the money's not there yet for ASU, and that they have to be kind of a rebound and grooming people model so they can rise to the next level. And I think that you can win with that model. But I do think that if you're Kenny Dillingham, you're like, man, how many times is Michigan going to call me? And if I have a couple down years here, will they ever call again? It's something. I mean, he's probably doing a lot of soul searching right now to figure out exactly what the next 10 years of his life are going to look like.
They better figure it out quick, because that transfer portal opens January 2nd, and you have a giant hole. Based on reporting done here, you're going to have a giant hole when it comes to the quarterback position that you're going to have to fill in a market that's going to be high competition for it. Mark, when you're looking at the Phoenix Suns, we talked first segment about how they've come out of this gauntlet of a stretch here, and they're at 500 in it so far, 6-6, an opportunity to win a few games against Golden State, when most people wrote them off yet again when they saw the start of this. Are you still impressed with this squad, and how much do you think Jalen Green adds to it when he comes back over the next couple of weeks?
I think a ton. I cannot wait to see him on the floor and what it does for Devin Booker and how it opens everybody else up. And it just takes some of the pressure off. And if Jalen Green can adopt some of that villain mentality, if Dylan's been whispering in his ear as well, I think you've got a really exciting next 3 months here for the Phoenix Suns. Well, we'll see tonight what translates for the end of the Laker game against the Warriors with Steph Curry, who I did not include in the top players of all time discussion, but I believe he needs to be higher on that list than he's given credit for. But yeah, I think the Suns, still very bullish on the Suns. We did our end of the year show on Arizona's Family Sports to kind of wrap things up, and I described the year as exhausting. But the Suns, the 2026 version of the Suns, the thing that's given me hope for the future.
Hold on. End of the year. You getting some vacation here? I mean, we got 2.5 weeks left.
I'm on tape right now, man. I'm already in the Caribbean, man. I'll be back in like January 5th for the Fiesta Bowl.
There's nothing I love more than giving you a hard time about that. Mark, you ready for a game?
Let's do it. It's not something about a moth, is it? I don't have to figure out where the moth. Okay.
No,
I was following the bouncing ball.
Shane's going to pick that joke up after you and I finish here.
It's still going. He's still telling it.
His mic's just off. I can hear him back there still. Game's called The Devil's in the Details. It's simple. I'm going to give you a fact. It's either Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Tempe, Arizona. That's simple. We keep the rules easy for you here. So first one was founded in 1824 by John Allen and Alicia Walker Rumsey.
I'm going to guess Ann Arbor, Michigan.
That is correct. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Number two, the city showed growth in the early 20th century, thanks in part to milling.
What is milling? Like the mills, like flour mills?
Mills, like flour mills, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then there's a flour mill on a mountain. I'm going to say Tempe Mountain. Tempe, Arizona.
It's Ann Arbor, Michigan.
The mill. I didn't know when they built the mill. It's still there, though. You can go see it.
It is. It's a shell, literally, of its former self, but it is still there. The school was founded there in 1885.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
No, that is actually Tempe. The Tempe Normal School was founded in 1885. So,
and we became a state in 1920.
12.
When did we become a state? 1912. Okay. Interesting.
But it was a territory. That's why it's called the Territorial Cup, because the two schools played in a territory then.
Have you heard the story about Frank Kush real quick? I don't mean to interrupt.
Sure, go ahead.
Frank Kush drove past Arizona State on his way out here. He left Michigan State in the Midwest and all Time Magazine and all the stuff to come out here and build Arizona State football. And he drove right past it and went to Phoenix and was like, how did I miss it? And then drove back and looked at ASU at the time and was like, what have I gotten myself into? Worked out.
Yeah. Ironically enough, another coach going to the Midwest could kill the program. On August 30th, 1971, the city was hit by a rare F2 tornado that injured 41 people, the most injuries recorded from a tornado in the state's history.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Tempe. I did not know
tornado?
this. A tornado in Tempe in 1971.
Okay, I'm going to have to check with my meteorologist on staff, April, and see if she has any sort of recon on that. That is wild. I've never even heard of one. When was the last time you heard of a tornado here?
There was one recently, but I don't think it actually touched down. But yeah, I was shocked when I read that. Right now has a current population of 123,000.
Tempe.
Nope. Ann Arbor. Tempe has 183,000.
I must have counted wrong. Yeah.
The university is the city's top employer with over 8,000 employees.
Oh, that's a tough one. 8,000 employees. I'm going to say Ann Arbor, Michigan, because they are bogged down by the whole town revolves around it. What's the answer?
It's Tempe.
How many employees does Michigan have?
I didn't look, but the Tempe is this one. I did look that. This is the city that Kenny Dillingham will coach in 2026.
Tempe, Arizona.
You got that one right. So
hopefully with higher paid assistants and a quarterback.
You did marginal today, Mark. I'll say that for it. What do you got coming up on Arizona Family Sports and the extra point?
Oh, we got Suns Warriors tonight. Super excited about that. So Griffin Demaray, our new reporter, is going to be down there. We're going to hear from the Suns post game. Going to probably listen into the Warriors post game as well. See if Steph talks. I think that's always kind of interesting. Also excited about this big Thursday night football game tonight. Rams and Seahawks. I think this is it safe to say this is the best Thursday night football game in history?
I mean, that's a low bar. I mean, they still could go out there and lay an egg, even though they're two good teams based on short rest. But on paper, sure. It's also
all right.
It's also horribly disappointing as Cardinals fans to watch two teams in your division being good. Well, you can't get your head out of your rear end. But I said it, not you, Mark.
Yes. Well, we will be hearing from the Cardinals today. We have a camera over there. We have a camera at Arizona State football practice should Kenny decide to talk. Also going to go hear from the Fighting Molly Millers and the undefeated Arizona State women's basketball team. The GCU women's basketball team, a tough start to the Mountain West season, a 1-point loss to UNLV. But I think they got something to build upon over there on the west side. And the champ, Jesus Ramos from Casa Grande, Arizona, the first ever world champion in boxing from Casa Grande, stopping by the studio to bring his belt. It's the same belt that was held by Muhammad Ali. And just a point of pride for Arizona, point of pride for Casa Grande. I've got some of the interview right now on my social media pages and much more to come.
Very good. Did you hear Molly Miller's actually changing her name?
Oh, no.
It's going to be Moy Meyer because there's no L's involved anymore. I believe that was Doug Tamaro that tweeted that one out there. I enjoyed it. So better than a moth.
That's good.
Joke. You can follow him at Mark McClune.
Is it finished yet? Is it still telling it?
The moth
joke? Where can I go to hear the end of it?
The moth went back to the therapist.
You can follow him at Mark McClune. Mark, we'll talk to you probably not next week since the holiday, but sometime soon. We'll talk to you then, Mark.
Yes. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to all out there. And yeah, see you soon. Thanks, Mark. That is another edition of Southwest Moth Bias in the books. You can follow Shane Diefenbach, the mustache. Mothwest Bias. You can follow Shane Diefenbach, the mustache behind the Mac, at Shane Dief. He will continue the joke on Twitter if you want to hear it. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports. You can follow me at Espo. And remember, the Suns play tonight, so that means yay basketball. Ahoy hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.